After watching this video, you will know exactly how to texture your 3D prints with a stone wall texture, and I'm going to show it for a flat surface and then even for a cylindrical one that is a bit more complex, but I believe you can make it. And I have my printers running, so if there's any additional noise, I'm really sorry, but I hope it won't make that much of a disturbance. As you can see, I have already both of the designs ready in Fusion 360, so I'm going to be showing you how to do this quite quickly, and I'm going to be starting a completely new design so that you can go with me during the designing process. So we're going to start a new design by clicking Ctrl N, or just clicking on this plus sign new design over here. Once we have that, we can actually select part design, because we're not going to be making any complicated assemblies. So once you click on part design, you can click on create new. I'm going to be doing it in millimeters. If you are from America, you can do it in inches. It doesn't really matter. Just adjust for your own values. So click on create new. Once you have that, you're going to create a first of all, we should save it, of course. So we're gonna save the part so that we actually know where it's at. Perfect. Once you have it saved, you can actually be always sure that the file doesn't just disappear. Now we're gonna be starting with the flat texture. I'm gonna be showing you how to create it on just a very flat 2D thing so that you can apply it, for example, for your walls if you want to 3D print one with a texture. So go into create sketch. In create sketch, select the whatever plane you have. I'm going to be creating just a very simple square so that I can show you how to apply the texture. So I'm going to click on R to create a rectangle and select the center rectangle from the right menu. Once you click on the origin, you can stretch it out and import the values in there. Now, a very good feature in Fusion 360 is that you can import the value. For example, I wanted 50 millimeters on one side, and then click tab, and it will switch automatically to the second side, which can speed up your designing process quite amazingly. So once you have that, you just hit enter and it appears. That's all that I'm going to be needing from this sketch right over here. So I can go to finish sketch, extrude it by clicking on E and selecting, for example, 2 millimeters, just to show you how you can actually apply this texture on your own. Once I click OK, I have created this object that I'm going to be applying the texture to. Once we have that, we can actually create an insert of the texture that I'm going to be sharing with you in the description of this video. So if you want the texture, you just click on the link in description. I'm going to put it onto a Google Drive so that everybody can download it. The texture is in the format of an SVG, which this format is basically something which you can take and use in Fusion to put something into 3D space. It's not just a basic image. It has special definition so that Fusion can actually convert it into a 3D object. So that's what an SVG is. So once you have the SVG downloaded, you're gonna go into Insert and insert an SVG, which is right over here. Once you click on that, it will allow you to insert something from your computer. It's gonna be named Stonewall SVG. So once you click that, it will ask you to select a plane or a face on which you want to place this texture. So I'm going to be selecting this face because that's the flat surface that I want to apply the texture to. So once you select it, it will import this stone wall texture into the design. Now you can position this and actually size it however you want it by adjusting these arrows that you have right over here. You can even place it on an angle. So if you want an angle, you're gonna move with this, but I do not want an angle, so I'm not gonna be applying it. If you want to move it and have it somewhere else, you're just gonna drag these arrows right over here. And if you want the stones a bit bigger because you just want a bit of a different texture, you're gonna be dragging this small, let's say, arc that is over here, and by stretching it out, you make it bigger, and by putting it a bit to yourself, you make it smaller. But I would recommend, if you are making this for 3D printing, rather making it bigger so that the printer doesn't have that much trouble actually making the texture, rather than smaller. So once you pick your size, for example, let's say I would like to have it just like this, you can click on OK. And now Fusion might take a bit of a while to load because the texture is a bit more complex shapes for the software to accept, but it should be able to do it if you have a decent computer. But I don't really have a good computer and it is still able to do it, so you should be able to do it definitely as well. Once you have that, you're gonna actually, that's all we need from this sketch. You're gonna go on it and finish sketch. Now you can click on E for extrude, and you're just gonna select either the stones that you want to have in there, or you can actually select the spaces between the stones and put it into the stone. So for easier use and to not have to select all of the stones, you're gonna just click on the spaces that are between the stones, and instead of actually putting the stones up, you're gonna be putting the spaces between the stones down. So we're gonna be putting in negative value. And now, because we're gonna be 3D printing this, and for example, somebody would like to have it vertical, if you would put this value too high, it would create overhangs, and these overhangs wouldn't be printable. So I recommend not going over the value of 0.4 to 0.8 millimeters, but you can adjust this on your own. If you are going to be printing it flat, it doesn't really matter. You can put whatever size you want, but if you're going to be printing it vertical or anyhow angled, I do recommend sticking to 0.4 at maximum. So I'm going to be importing 0.4 so that I can show it to you. As you can see, the operation was automatically selected to cut, so it will cut into the stone. Once you hit OK, as you can see, now you have this very simple but beautiful texture applied to your surface. So that's how simple it is to actually put it onto a flat surface. Now I'm going to be showing you how to put it in even onto a cylinder, which is a bit more complicated, but I think many of you can make a like a tower from it, which even I am using in my designs, and it looks really amazing, so I think you would like to see this. First of all, we're going to hide this body by going into bodies, selecting this arrow over here and clicking on the eye so that the body would disappear. Now we're going to be making the cylinder. So to make a cylinder, we're going to create a new sketch again on this plane right over here. You're going to create a circle by hitting C or just going into this menu over here, but it's really good to know shortcuts because it just speeds up the whole process of designing quite a lot. And now you're going to be picking the diameter. Now it's really important that you remember this diameter because we're going to be using it later on, because there's one bit of a complication that is additional that we don't have with the flat surface. So I'm going to be sticking to, for example, 50 millimeters. If you have it in inches, it's of course going to be a bit different. Once you have that, that's really everything that we need to create the cylinder. Now, again, you're going to be extruding this. Either you can hit in the menu extrude right over here, or you can just click on E for the shortcut and extrude it of whatever size you would like to have it. I'm going to stick to the 50 millimeters or whatever inch value you had. Once you have that, you can click on OK or hit enter again for speed up of the designing process. Hit enter. Amazing. Now you have this very simple cylinder. Now we're going to be again importing or inserting the SVG texture, but we need to do it a bit differently. First, we're going to construct a plane that we're going to be making it on. To create a tangent plane that we need right now is we're going to go into construct. In construct, you're going to select tangent plane. This will create a plane that is tangent to the cylinder that you have right in front of you in the design. So you're going to create the tangent plane and you're going to select the face of the cylinder that you want this to apply to. Once you hit it, it will pick the plane that is pretty much looking at you. So Fusion really makes it simple. Once you have that, you can click on OK. So you're going to be going into sketch and create a sketch on the plane that we have just created. Now we need to know the circumference of the cylinder so that we can actually put the texture only on the circumference and so that it doesn't go anywhere beyond and doesn't intersect. And to do this, Fusion has an amazing feature that we are going to be using. We're gonna click on either line over here from the menu or L for the shortcut, which again speeds up your process. Click on L, select and go from the origin, and you're gonna drag it out and you're gonna make sure there's 0 degrees there so that we have it actually horizontal to the origin that we want. Now, you're gonna be importing here the diameter which you chose because the formula for calculating circumference is actually the diameter times pi. And Fusion allows us to actually use pi without having to anyhow estimate the value by ourselves. So you're going to be first importing the diameter that you have, which I have 50 millimeters, and of course you can have it in whatever inches or centimeters or whatever units you use. So I'm going to be putting 50. And now to use pi, you're gonna be hitting first multiplying. So you're gonna put the star that represents multiplying in Fusion, and then you're gonna import pi. Now Fusion allows you to import pi by typing in capital letters of P and Y, and this creates pi for you in the formula of the length of the line. So once you have that, you can just hit enter, and it actually calculates. As you can see, I inputted 50 millimeters and it is about 157, which is basically 50 times 3 something, right? So you can even see that the pi was actually estimated correctly. And now we're going to be creating another line that will be going from this point at the end of the line up, because this will be creating basically the limiting line where we can actually put the SVG at all. And once you have that, now you can just hit on insert again and insert the SVG that we have already inserted before on the flat surface. Now the really important part is that you use the scaling arc to scale the sketch so that it doesn't go over the line, but it goes just like very close to it. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna just create an estimate and then look on the value that you have in the scale window, which I need to show you right over here. As you can see right over here on top of me, there's a scale, let's say constant, that you need to adjust. And once you adjust it so that it doesn't, so the stones don't go over the line, that's the value that you want to have there. As you can see, for me it was 0.9, but you're going to be scaling it to your own. So just make sure the stones aren't reaching over this line and you're going to be completely fine. Once you have that, you can click on OK, and the texture is going to be created exactly as we need it. And now you can finish the sketch, but we're not going to be using extrude, because extrude wouldn't actually, let's say, bend the stones as we need them. So we are going to be going into create, and in create you're going to select emboss. And with emboss, what it basically does is it actually shapes the stones to the face you select. So with a cylinder it will actually make them round. So select sketch profiles, so you can actually drag over all of the stones that you have. Try to select the least amount of stones so that Fusion doesn't have to compute that much. As you can see, it selected them beautifully, and now you can just select this cylinder and hopefully it works. And as you can see, it applies the texture amazingly, and it actually doesn't write any error messages or anything at all. And now again, as I said before, you're gonna need to adjust the depth with this one definitely, because if you would stay with the 2 millimeters that were there previously, it would actually wouldn't be able to print it at all, because 2 millimeters of an overhang is too much for a 3D printer. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adjusting this to 0.4 millimeters, as I have said before, because the 3D printer actually can handle this value quite a bit. And you can go even a bit more, but don't go over 0.8 millimeters for sure. And because we're going to be putting these stones up, you can actually remain the effect of embossing. We're not going to be cutting anything out. So we're going to import 0.4 millimeters. It's going to adjust the stones so that they are a bit smaller, and now you can just hit OK, and you're going to have the texture applied to your cylinder. Now if your Fusion successfully loaded the SVG and applied the texture with the embossing feature, you're gonna have this beautiful looking tower, little small tower, that you can then even apply your own design to and use it with your 3D printing. I'm gonna be uploading these files to MakerWorld so that anybody can, let's say, try them and print and see how it looks when printed, so that you can get a bit inspired and maybe even make your own designs. So hopefully this video was somehow helpful. I tried to go over every single step that needed to be done so that anybody can replicate it, and hopefully it helped you. If it did, you can comment, like, and follow for more.